Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. So thank you very much. Thank you to Anders and US Norway for giving us the opportunity to talk about AirMap. A little bit nervous because my co-founder and chairman was supposed to do the presentation today, so I had a short notice, and I had to do it, prepare this just over the weekend. So obviously Ben is apologize for not being here today, and I hope I can transmit you what we do. So let's talk a bit about AirMap. So we used to be identified as a UTM platform provider, but in fact we are evolving a bit our headline, and we say that we are the enabling platform for the new era of mobility. So that's a good challenge, but in fact today we're already enabling the industrial drones, the delivery drones around the world, and we enable safe operation in low altitude airspace, and we really want to make it happen also in the future air mobility. Air mobility, so yes, we're just at the beginning. Yesterday we talked a bit about that. But as manufacturers and investors are believing in the air mobility market, we also believe that this will bring very good benefits in our daily life. So we're today already investing in trying to solve part of the problem that will be generated by the air mobility. As you've seen already, it's a market that is expected to reach $1.5 trillion by the next 20 years. And it's already driving a lot of investment, about $2 billion investment, and that are funding about 135 aircraft projects. So if you're interested in knowing about all what's happening in the urban air mobility, I recommend you Transport Hub, which is a blog and a web page, and you will see what's happening. So obviously we don't know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, but we know for sure that this will require also the new digital air navigation services that we're already providing today in the industrial drones. And the industrial drone market is also already a reality. So we've seen yesterday all the different applications of drones, everywhere, agriculture, utilities, oil and gas, we saw so first responder and public safety. This market already represents $14 billion in the world, and this includes obviously hardware manufacturers or drone manufacturers, software developers, and service providers. So as Axel briefly mentioned, the regulation is happening. In some countries, it's slower than in other countries, but obviously the good thing is that in Europe, we have the European Commission that is really pushy and really wants the Europe to be at the forefront of the regulation. And as the regulation is being implemented, we will see a huge and exponential growth of this market. And as also Axel mentioned, this will require a lot of automation to enable more and more, to reduce the friction, because today it's quite difficult to access the airspace. So there are a lot of administrative paperwork to work. The integration between systems are not yet here. So thanks to the implementation of the regulation and the automation, there will be more and more. The market is set to explode. And in fact, also another figure, so I don't want to bother you with figures, but in the next 5 years, this market is set to represent $40 billion. So where we think we are in terms of adoption, so we've had this recreational drones boom about 4 years ago. That was enabled by the new drones, cheap drones, 500 drones that people were buying. So there have been a huge hype. But right now, today, the market, the recreational market is really stagnant. So there is no big growth. I think people just get fun by taking some pictures and some videos, and then at the end, they don't use it that much. So this market is just staggering. Obviously, I've talked about the enterprise UI services that is already here today, so with a lot of still manual operation, and we're seeing now also some semi-autonomous vehicles performing automated missions that allows to have a much better accuracy of data collection because the flights are just programmed and the drones are flying alone, so there is no less human involved in the operation. So it's probably not a good news for some pilots, but I mean, there is still some time for you to do some good work. And obviously, so this will evolve. So autonomous drones, we are talking a lot about the drone in the box. So we will see more and more that kind of services happening in the near future, I believe, because the technology is really evolving quite fast on the drones, on the drone side. And obviously, the drone as a service and urban air mobility. So these dates, we can argue whether we used to put 2023 because it was Uber plans to have the first eVTOL flying. We will see. I think it's still very early stage to see when we'll have fully autonomous eVTOL. So what we do, AirMap, so we automate. Our key word is automation. So we automate the airspace, the access to the airspace, and we also automate the data flow that needs to happen between the different stakeholders. So that we say stakeholders. We also call it the ecosystem. So the ecosystem is made of it's to enable first the enterprise that want to scale their operation, the airspace managers that also have now an intention to open the sky and to enable more and to get more benefits of this drone economy, and all the software developers, the solution developers that are building the tools to make this happen, to make the fly happen. So today we already have our platform is really used by a lot of almost all of this ecosystem. So we have some air navigation service providers as customers. We have obviously also some enterprise, mainly in the telco and construction sectors. That was due to a recent acquisition that we did of an American company, Anger Technology, that was specialized in telco and construction. So what we offer, so in the airspace manager, so ANSPs, we offer registry services, flight information management services. These are platforms that allow just to digitalize the administrative process and also access to information. We provide tools for pilots. So Axel mentioned the app. So we're providing a web app, mobile app, but we'll go further, and this is more on the we'll talk a little bit more about this. We also provide software development kits, and so that integration tools that allows you to integrate all this information within your existing system. So your mission planner, and tomorrow also for the enterprise business integration with your existing business systems, just like ARPs or whatever. And so we also we've just announced our operation management center for enterprise company. This is a way for a company to manage their drone activities. So we are talking about the general rule sets of flying, but obviously when we talk about critical infrastructure, those enterprises also have some specific rules. So they don't want to have some of their pilots flying over some part of the infrastructure, and they don't want them to take picture, for example, or they don't want them to fly over a parking where there will be some people. So that's helped them also managing their own airspace with their own rule set, and also having some fleet management services. Job site, tower site, these are the two verticals that we are now developing with thanks to this acquisition of Anger Technology. So job site is just a tool that automates flights for doing construction work inspection. And tower site is the same, but applied to the telecommunication towers. So part of the services that we're offering, so this is map, this is flight plans, this is alerts, pilot registry and aircraft registry and telemetry services. So in fact, the benefit of UTM as a collaborative system is that, yes, so you will contribute, you will provide situational awareness, but you will also get some benefits of collaborating, because you will receive also information about the nearby traffic, about the geofence, about the geocage. So that's the kind of services. And we're moving from the airspace automation services to the data flow automation service. This is also thanks to the Hangar acquisition. So we want really to automate the process of requesting a work, planning a work, dispatching a work, doing all the data capture, and then transforming and analyzing all this information. And we make it open. So we make it, all these services are open via are offered via Open API. This is what I just told you. This enables you not only to look at an app and then use your traditional tools to fly your drones. This will allow you to integrate directly these services into your day-to-day tools. And we're really proud about that. So we have about 2,500 solution developers that we said powered by AirMap. And in fact, for us, it's an honor to have all these companies, because we believe that this market needs innovation. And AirMap, as a startup and a company, will not be able to address all the different needs. So in fact, by providing these SDKs and these APIs, we are enabling also global companies, or even the local ecosystem of companies, like the Norwegian companies, to develop the future services and application that will be tailored to your market, and also creating all the value within the market. So that's really what we're really proud of. So that's the topic, worldwide leader. So everybody's the worldwide leader. But just for worldwide, because we operate already on a worldwide basis. So we have services in the United States. We have services in Europe, in the Czech Republic, and in Switzerland. We also operate in Asia Pacific, thanks to a joint venture with Rakuten, which is the Japanese Amazon. And based on this, the statement of why we're worldwide leader, I mean, because we already have 250 pilots using our tools today. I talk about the developer, the ecosystem of developer that we are encouraging and creating. And we also do a lot of flight authorization. So we're going to talk a little bit about where we are. So I'm not going to enter into too much details, because I only have 3 minutes left. But so obviously we're already present in the United States. We were one of the first LANs provider in the United States. We're also participating in I think it's 6 IPP programs that have been also mentioned yesterday. And in fact, we are working with our friends at Chula Vista. And this is also a good example. Chula Vista is using Cape. Cape is one of our developers. So Cape is providing services to Chula Vista, so this data streaming, data capture, and video streaming capabilities. But they are using all our SDKs to get access to the airspace, so to fill a flight plan, to get an authorization, to have awareness about the airspace. So that's also thanks partly thanks to us. So in Europe, I've mentioned Switzerland, Czech Republic. We've been also very active in the last summer in Spain, in the Netherlands, and in Finland in the Gulf project, which has been a fantastic project where we demonstrated cross-border operation, multiple use space service provider interacting all together. So we're really proud also and honored to have been. And the Cesar, so the GeoSafe project was also very interesting, because it was about demonstrating geocaging and geofencing capabilities, which is going to take a lot more importance in the future. And this will be also a guarantee of safety, because people at the end will have won't be able to enter in the geofence. There will be first advice, and then the drone will be stopped and would prevent him to enter into a geofence. So we talk about LANs. I mean, I think it's a fantastic example of how we can unlock the airspace and get all the benefits of the drone economy, thanks to a simple service, just like the LAN service. Well, simple, not very simple, but And we've seen that the traffic has grown from 5,000 flights in 2017 to 250,000 in just 2 years. So it's impressive, and we believe that's just the beginning. The projection is even bigger for the next year. I've talked a little bit about USpace, Swiss USpace, which is the Swiss project. So the Swiss USpace, we're just replicating what we've done in the United States. So we'll be also implementing on a national level all the low altitude authorization and notification capability. And thanks to another example, it's what I've talked about, the hangar technology. So we are also now automating simple jobs for civil works inspection. So being able to see what's the evolution of your construction, being able to share some picture with your colleagues and collaborate on this project. And we're doing the same in the telco sector, which is going to be also quite huge with this 5G coming on and the needs for having a good digital assets management. Thank you.